What's going on, Unfazed crew? I hope you're doing well. It's finally cooling off tonight in Phoenix, man. Well, technically I'm in Glendale. Phoenix, Glendale, it's cooling down. It's 61 degrees right now. And to me, that's cold. To an Arizona guy, that's cold. First time I've busted out the hoodie. So it's a special occasion. It's a little earlier than last year, so that's freaking exciting. But tonight I want to talk about movies, guys. I want to talk about movies. One of the cornerstones, one of the pillars of Unfazed Review is a love of freaking movies. And I was talking to a couple friends about this the other day. I'm noticing a shift. I'm sensing a shift, and maybe you guys are noticing it too, in movies in general. Obviously, this year and the past 5 to 10 years have been nothing but freaking remakes and sequels. This is nothing new. People have commented on this many, many times. You've got all the Avengers movies, all the offshoot superhero movies. Just this past year, we had another Superman movie. We had another Fantastic Four movie. They did a remake of Lilo and Stitch. They did a remake of, I don't know. I'm sure there's a million others I could list. I can't think of them off the top of my head, but there's a shit ton, so I will list them right now. Like I said, a shit ton. But yeah, so it's been a time of painful unoriginality in Hollywood, and them just playing it so freaking safe, just so hungry for money, just so desperate that they are so unwilling to take a chance on anything original and anything new. It's been a really disgusting, sad time for Hollywood, and just a bummer for viewers of movies because there's been hardly anything new or fun or original. Until now, I think we are beginning to see the early rumblings of a change, a shifting of the tides, so to speak. I think something is going to happen very soon, and I think once 2026 gets here, we're going to see a new wave of cinema. Sure, you're still going to have the Supermans and the Fantastic Fours and the sequels and the tried and true safe superhero films and the safe big box office movies. Those are going to be there. The studios are never going to pull away from those, at least not for the next decade, because they're worried about making money. But I think we're going to see an influx of new, more original films. And I think that's what audiences are craving, and I think we're going to see a lot more of those. And what really got me thinking about this was last week I went and saw One Battle After Another with Leonardo DiCaprio, Benicio del Toro, Sean Penn, the Paul Thomas Anderson movie, and it was pretty good. It could have been better, absolutely. I think the story could have been a little tighter. I think the motivation behind Sean Penn's character was a little flimsy. It was a little weird, but it was still a good movie. It was a good watch, and whether I liked it or not is kind of beside the point. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. But the theater was filled up. The theater was packed. It was filled with people seeing this Paul Thomas Anderson movie that nobody really knew anything about. You just knew DiCaprio was in it and Benicio del Toro was in it, and it was probably going to be pretty good. And it was pretty good. But the theater was packed. That's what I'm saying. And I think a lot of people are hungry for originality. I think people are tired of Fantastic Four and Superman. No matter what you think of those movies, whether you like them or not, I think people are tired of Lilo and Stitch remakes. I think people are tired of The Conjuring 7. You know what I mean? I think people want to see something a little more unique and original. And there was a lot of hype around that movie Good Boy. Once I finally saw the trailer, I was kind of unimpressed. But the hype around it seemed pretty interesting, and I still haven't seen it. It could be a great movie. I don't know. I was listening to 93.3, the alternative rock station here, and one of the DJs was talking about it, and she was like hyping this movie Good Boy, and I heard someone at work talking about it, and they were like, oh yeah, Good Boy, this dog that can see ghosts. What a great premise for a movie. And just like that old school excitement, like it's not a movie held up by a big actor or by a big director. It's just a dog that sees ghosts. That's original. That's cool. People want more of that shit. People absolutely are hungry for that. They're starving for it.
Let me in, I'm starving.
Now, don't get overexcited. Don't lose your head, Augustus.
What else is coming out? Sam Raimi has a new movie coming out called Send Help. Trailer looks like a blend of Misery and 6 Days, 7 Nights, that Harrison Ford movie from a long time ago. Good movie. And Misery and Castaway. It's like a hybrid of all those mixed together. So it's not completely original. It's borrowing from a lot of things. But it's Sam Raimi, it's Rachel McAdams, it's that dude from The Maze Runner, whatever his name is. And it looks kind of interesting. It looks kind of unique. It looks like something a little bit different. I think it's going to do well. I think people are going to like it. Now, is it going to be the best thing ever? Probably not. But it's original. So, fingers crossed on that one. And I think as next year rolls around, you're going to see a lot more movies like that. You're going to start seeing this new wave of cinema coming in that people are going to get super excited about. It's going to coexist with the big budget superhero movies and the shitty remakes and the excessive sequels. But they're going to coexist, and I think they're going to do really well. So actually this year there's been a couple good movies that I've seen on the big screen. One Battle After Another, pretty good. Like I said, could have been better, but still enjoyable. Weapons, highly enjoyable. The ending, a little stupid, far from perfect, but highly enjoyable pretty much all the way through and very unique. It gets mega points. It gets really big points for originality. It was a very original movie. A bunch of kids go missing in this class, and it's the search for them. Their parents and their teacher and everyone's searching for them, and it has a paranormal twist, and it was very original, so I appreciated that. I really thoroughly enjoyed it all the way through. The different characters, the different perspectives. They did a good job. Like I said, not perfect, but good. Definitely on the right track. The Long Walk. Brilliant movie. One of the best, if not the best movies I've seen this year. The Long Walk. Stephen King adaptation. Great old classic Stephen King story. Brought to life with a bunch of characters that I wasn't familiar with, or a bunch of actors, I should say. A bunch of unknowns, which was refreshing. I'm sure if you guys, look at it, maybe you recognize some of the actors, but they were all new to me, all new faces. And I like that. It was kind of cool. You kind of go in with, no preconceived notions and just check it out for what it is. But that movie was awesome. Definitely check out The Long Walk. It was fantastic. Very dark. Very gritty, but I liked it. And those movies, when I went and saw each one of those, the theater was pretty full, which was refreshing. And, I didn't go out of my way to see Fantastic Four. I didn't care. It might be a fine movie, but I just didn't really give a shit. But it was nice going to see something like The Long Walk or something like Weapons. Weapons, I hadn't even seen a trailer for it. I didn't know anything about it. I was just like, ooh, horror movie. Let's go check it out. Let's see. Packed. Theater was packed. Really made me happy. And I think we're going to see a lot more movies like that. A lot of movies that are either adaptations like they used to do back in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, or just completely original concepts is what I'd really like to see. That's what I'd really like to see, is completely new ideas, new faces, and just usher in a new wave of films. I would love that. That movie, The Roof Man, that looks like fun with Channing Tatum. That's an original concept, as far as I know. Seems like a pretty original concept. So I'm stoked for that. But aside from The Long Walk and Weapons and One Battle After Another, aside from those three, kind of a lackluster movie year. Nothing really that spectacular. The best things I've seen have been old movies being brought back to the big screen. The classics, the Tuesday night classics. They brought back Men in Black on the big screen, and that was just so fantastic, man. That movie is perfect. It's just perfectly paced, just a wonderful blend of practical effects and CGI and costumes and great actors. Back when Will Smith was actually cool, before he was embarrassing himself, back when he was actually a badass. Tommy Lee Jones, one of the best. But yeah, the first Men in Black, dude, absolute masterpiece. And going to see something like that just makes you crave originality. Like, if we could bring in a new era of movies like that, can you imagine getting a new Men in Black? Like something like that, that's like totally original, totally out of left field. I want to see more of that. I want to see Hollywood taking chances on brand new ideas. I think it's just around the corner. anyway, that's all I really have to say about it. But kind of like how in the 1970s, you had a bunch of young directors coming in. You had Spielberg, you had Lucas, you had Coppola, you had guys like that. You had Scorsese. You had these guys coming in, and the studios took a chance on him. They said, hey, let's give this guy some money. Let's see what he can do. And then you get Jaws. And then you get Star Wars. And then you get frickin' Taxi Driver. You know what I mean? We need a new era like that. It's time. It's been too long. There's been too many freaking remakes. There's been too many sequels. There's been too many reboots. I'm tired of it. And I think most people with half a brain are tired of it too. So let's see what happens. 2026 looks very, very promising. You got that new Sam Raimi movie on the way. You got, well, of course we're going to get the Batman too. That's a sequel I'm okay with. That's a sequel I'm completely fine with. But like I said, just mark my words. For every big budget superhero movie you get, I think there's going to be 3 or 4 original movies kind of slipping in under the wire that are actually going to be successful. A new era is upon us, guys. Anyway, that's it. End of rant. It's nice and chilly tonight. Hope you guys are doing well. Like, subscribe, and most importantly, remain unfazed. Thanks for watching.